Zach with Web3 Reviews. Thank you for being with us. Today it is Monday, May 12th, and we're going to be talking about the crypto market. Let's go. Remember that none of this is financial advice. Hope everyone had a good weekend. It was Mother's Day on Sunday. Got my mom these tomato plants for her garden. Got my wife some roses. Naturally, because it was the weekend, I had to watch some UFC and get drunk. You know, sorry wife. Had some whiskey, had some beers, had a good time. But you know what? I ended up making up for it because I made some banana bread. Dude, I'm constantly buying bananas for my kid. And whenever they go bad, I'm like, wife, make some banana bread. She's always like, you do it. So finally I did, you know? I was like, hey, I could do this. It's easy as could be, man. Takes all of about 10 minutes to get the ingredients in a pan and throw them in the oven. Your wife will love you for it. Hope you guys had a good Mother's Day too. Let's jump right in. Got this update from BitTrue this morning. It said XRP has risen above $2.60. Let's go. Let's check it out for ourselves. XRP sitting right at $2.59. We're up 8% on the day. On the 7-day, we're up 22%. On the 1 month, we're up 25%. Look at that green candle on the 1 month. On the 1 year, we're up 420%. Ayo! There it is. We just jumped above $2.06 right here on the channel. $2.62. XRP is running, my guy. Yeah, you remember 1 month ago? We were sitting at $2.06. We were fluctuating. We even dropped below $2. You had a golden buying opportunity. What did you do with it? Did you take advantage of it or did you squander it? Did you tell yourself we were going even lower? Did you tell yourself the bull run was over? I was here trying to tell you the opposite. We're going higher. Bitcoin's chilling at 105K and no one even cares. They're yawning like it's boring. Michael Saylor's still telling you to take out a mortgage and go deep, go further, go harder. Is that not why you came? Then if not, then why bother? Come on, Jay-Z, thank you for the bars. Dude, you have got to be in crypto. If you're not playing, what are you doing with yourself? Bro, what are you even doing with yourself, man? FLR sitting at 0.2011. FLR is going to become a top 50, top 25, top 10 token by market cap. And you can have this guaranteed by the fact that FLR is providing a use case to every single crypto token in the ecosystem. At FLR has this to say about it. Realize this, when FLR hits $1, it'll be about a times 50. When Songbird hits $1, it'll be about a times 137. I believe they will both happen around the same time, Brett says. Brett's that Army Infantry Disabled Veteran. LDS Christian, man. Patriot, crypto investor, big FLR and Songbird guy. I'm a fan of his, man. We just had a 30-minute interview drop with Hugo Filion, in which he sat down with Jack Newald from Decipher Podcast. 30 minutes of Hugo giving us that insight about FLR networks. Go give it a listen, man. And as we can see here, he talks about his origin, his unique edge, FLR V2, USDTO integration, FLR's vision on XRP-Fi, the biggest obstacles, and Hugo's ultimate ambition for FLR networks. Go check it out, man. Great listen. And Brett FLR has a comment about this too. He says, the way I see FLR networks is like an interpreter protocol to make all these other languages, blockchains, be able to interact with one another. And that's a beautiful way to put it, man. Because the thing is that right now to start, you're going to have Dogecoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin, XRP. And then through Stargate, you're going to be able to go after 70 other different blockchains as well. FLR was built on top of the Ethereum virtual machine. You know it's going to be easily integrated into what Ethereum was capable of. Anybody who was on Hoto ETH is going to be easily assimilated into FLR networks. And it's going to make their life much better. We are here to change for the future, my friends. We are here to make changes for the future. I don't know what I'm doing. We're here to make changes, man. We're here to benefit people who are trying to play this game. I remember back in 2017, if I wanted to take part and buy a CryptoKitties, it would have cost me a $50 to $100 ETH fee, and that was only one of two fees. First, you had to buy it, then you had to mint it. Ridiculousness, all right? I was not a fan of Rarible or OpenSea back in the day because of the ETH fees. I think that FLR is a much better option. I think that XRP is a much better option. There are better technologies out there, bro. Algorand, ArcBlock. You name it, it's probably better tech than ETH, all right? Unless you're bringing up Bitcoin. Leader Alpha quoted this part of the interview with Hugo, where Hugo says FLR Networks plans to handle tens of billions of dollars a day. That's not bad. Hey, that's a start, all right? I think if XRP is moving quadrillions a year, that XRP's main source of DeFi should at least be handling tens of billions of dollars a day. Andrew M has this chart for us from July of 2023 to now. So we're looking at a 2-year chart for the DeFi amount locked on FLR's network. We see right here a Songbird amount locked in DeFi, a FLR amount locked in DeFi, and then the value in USD. Look at that red candle. Now I know we're the green candle boys, but look at this red candle of the total amount of FLR's DeFi value locked. Connect Everything says, looking forward to seeing this chart once F-Assets version 1.1 hits Songbird, assuming that a lot more DeFi is going to get locked in Songbird's protocol as soon as it's eligible to be. And you would hope, man, they had the F-Assets on Songbird capped at 2 million previously. So only a few people could play. You get one big whale who wants to go in and start getting that yield on his XRP. Next thing you know, the doors are shut for the rest of us.
What's up, big worm?
Worm226 says $50 Songbird is possible. It's not just wishful thinking, it's simple math and utility backed by precedent. Look at Kusama. It hit $620 at its peak, not as a main chain, but as Polkadot's canary network. Songbird is doing the same thing with Flare networks, but with much more upside. Here's how. What's a canary network? It's not a testnet. It's a fully functional blockchain where real assets and real dApps go live first. On Songbird, you get early access to innovations, liquidity flows, and network mechanics before they go live to FlareNet. Why is Songbird critical to Flare? Because Flare Networks is aiming much higher than Polkadot. We're talking trustless KYC, tokenized assets, Tether IO integrated through USDTO, Layer 0 core integrations, decentralized data feeds with over 100 plus independent data providers, F assets from Bitcoin, XRP, DOGE, etc. Every major upgrade from FTSO protocol changes to wrapped asset mechanics runs through Songbird first. It's the proving ground for one of the most ambitious infrastructures in crypto. What happens when developers, FTSOs, and users flood into Songbird? More utility, more demand, more staking and delegation, more scarce supply. All of these without requiring Songbird to compete as an L1. It thrives by being the first in line, the sandbox with real money and real upside. Kusama ran up to $600 because of parachain auctions, scarcity, and innovation. Songbird gets the same dynamic, but with more relevant use cases and global scale integration. If Flare Networks fulfills its mission and Songbird remains the first stage of all that, then $50 Songbird, not just possible, it's underpriced. Great post from the crypto worm, man. Go give him a follow. Oh, this is perfect from Stallinson, man. If you don't know, he's that NFT artist on the Flare net. Go check out his work, man. He'll send you a real life print if you buy his NFT. You gotta love that type of shit. He posted this picture with Hugo himself as the Godfather, and it's quoted saying, "The buses are lined up. Send it." Man, I feel like I've been waiting for this bus for so long, man. I've been waiting for this bus since before Flare even came out. Man, there were people who were saying when the airdrop came out and then when XRP got hit with that lawsuit, well, really it was Ripple, when Ripple got hit by the SEC lawsuit. What if Flare ends up being the real one? Like, we thought XRP was going to hit how we wanted it to, but then Ripple helped us get the Flare airdrop and Ripple gets sued and Flare ends up being the one with the gains that we were looking for in XRP. It could happen, man. Right now, XRP is $2.60. We go up to $10. We go up to $20. That's less than a times 10 from here. That's less than a times 10. We're talking about Flare hitting $1. That's times 50. We're talking about Songbird hitting $1. We saw that was a times 137. We got people talking about Flare and Songbird going much higher than $1, man. This is ETH 3.0. Songbird is looking like Kusama 2.0. And Kusama went on to reach $600 per token. Flare and Songbird are bringing a use case to crypto, which is impermeable. Nobody can come after this. They provide better data feeds than Chainlink, and Chainlink is a cornerstone of crypto. What happens when Chainlink has to use Flare's FTSOs to provide the data, or else everyone's going to pivot away from Chainlink? We're not tribal here. We want to go with the best tech, man. And in terms of DeFi and ETH 2.0, we're looking on to ETH 3.0. Vitalik is probably scared shitless, man. When it comes down to the Wizardry Club and Vitalik sees Hugo, bro, that's like a fucking bad day for Vitalik. All right, that ruffles his feathers, man. Gotta get his panties out of a wad. This guy did not badger dance all this time for Bugo the bear to show up and eat my lunch. That's right, and in the interview, Hugo brought up Fartcoin. He brought up the fact that Fartcoin is worth more than Flare and Songbird, all right? Fartcoin has no utility. Choose items with utility, my friends. And Leader Alpha has this to say as well. And this is on top of a post from AU Official, who I believe is an FTSO on FlareNet. They say the DeFi total volume locked on Songbird is 1.37 million across 189 million tokens, which represents 1.21% of the circulating supply. The Flare total volume locked is 119 million across 5 billion tokens, which represents 9.21% of the circulating supply. So Leader Alpha says this: almost 10% of the circulating Flare supply is locked in DeFi gaining yield, up 300% in the last month. People are waking up. They're realizing what's happening. Nobody wants to miss this bus. I'm going to be honest. A lot of people had their eyes on Flare, and a lot of people turned their back on it because they didn't like the distribution model, they didn't like the chart, and they didn't believe. And now they're seeing the buses lining up, and they're seeing everyone get ready to fucking go to the moon. They're starting to jump back in, dude. They're like, oh shit, I don't want to miss this. So now we have 10% of Flare's circulating supply locked in DeFi gaining yield. You know, the only way to get the airdrop is to have your Flare locked in DeFi, pretty much. You have to be staked, you have to be delegated. That would make you locked in DeFi, okay? And of course, you're not locked. You can unstake, you can undelegate anytime. If you're staked, there's usually a staking lockup period. It's why I don't stake. You might get a better percentage yield. Dude, I just delegate. If I want to use my Flare, I want to take it out and do whatever I want with it. That's what I want to do, all right? Let's listen to this 2-minute bit from the Hugo interview that Angelica Saldana trimmed for us.
And so we thought, well, actually there's this vast pool of assets out there, you know, that are sort of underutilized. Bitcoin, XRP, currently now Dogecoin, you know, large agglomerations of value that sort of should be being utilized more than they currently are. and should be being utilized in a way that is in concordance with the sort of ethos of crypto. Because largely those tokens that don't have smart contracts, the way they're moved to other chains is suboptimally decentralized. It's just not very decentralized.
Right.
And we thought, well, okay, how would you get those tokens into a DeFi ecosystem, but in a way that's decentralized? We thought, well, you need a blockchain. That blockchain needs to be able to access data. There are these external data protocols like, Chainlink and Band Protocol and API 3. Okay, but those external data protocols, they're not secured by the same quality of security that you get on a blockchain itself. They don't have staking and all that kind of stuff. And so we thought, well, let's build a blockchain for data. Because that's the first step to being able to get those tokens onto a blockchain. And so we've built that, and now we've sort of rolled that out. We're in the process of rolling out effectively the highly decentralized bridges, and now we're moving to FLR v2, which I can articulate in a second.
Songbird sitting at 7.1 tenths of a penny. Songbird is still a steal, man. FLR is still a steal. You can still pick up a giant bag of these tokens for cheap. And in a year or two, you're going to be thanking me. You're going to be thanking yourself having the balls to play Songbird and FLR. It's not easy out here. It takes some real kahunas. You got to be there playing. When everyone else is saying shit's going to go awry, you have to be there buying. Back to XRP news. John Squire says XRP is now accepted as a payment method on Travala. Book over 3 million hotels, flights, and experiences using your crypto. This isn't hype, it's real world utility. XRP is finally moving like what it was meant to be, global money. We got this from Brett Crypto. The upcoming US legislation targets 0% tax on profits from Bitcoin, XRP, and stocks. And this is House Bill number 594. Come on, pass something good, you damn bastards. Sick of these bastards, man. You see how rich they're getting on our tax dollars? Come on. You know how many days off a year Congress and the Senate gets? Bro, you know peasants got more days off a year than the average retail worker or 9-to-5 worker? Buy some XRP and some FLR and free yourself, man. Get on the FLR and XRP rich list. Get on the Songbird rich list. Why are you fucking around, dude? You're playing with your own future. Get it on good assets and be a boss in the next 5 to 10 years. Free yourself from the fucking bullshit that is wage slavery. Brett says XRP is the most traded crypto on Korean exchange. You're not bullish enough. Chad Steingraber says Bitcoin dominance dropping like a brick. Go for launch, XRP. This is what we've been waiting for. Look at this red candle at this far right side for this Bitcoin dominance chart. Look at that shit, man. The blockchain backer, you always said that what would happen is that Bitcoin would reach out and then it would fall. And that would be the signaling of the altcoin market. I think that we finally have made it, man. XRP is above $2.60. Bitcoin dominance is falling. We were at 100K and now the dominance is falling. Nobody gives a shit about Bitcoin, man. Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy are trying to reel you in. 1 hour ago, the on-chain lens reports that Strategy, which is previous MicroStrategy, has bought over 13,390 Bitcoin for $1.34 billion at an average price of $99,856 per Bitcoin. They now hold 568,000 Bitcoin, bought for an approximately $39 billion, an average price of $69,287 per Bitcoin. Julian Linger says he did it again. If Saylor keeps up this pace, by summer, MicroStrategy will own about 3 times more Bitcoin than the USA. You know what's going to happen, man, is this is actually a classic story. This reminds me of a history lesson from Germany, back from the turn of the 19th century. You know, the German dollar was in a position of power, and there were families that were sitting on monumental amounts of silver, as well as other precious metals. And they saw that their value of silver, based on German francs, I want to say they were called, going through the absolute moon, because what was happening was that the German dollar was going to nothing. But some families saw an opportunity to trade their real-life resources, like their stockpile of gold and silver, for that paper dollar. Now that paper dollar got printed to infinity. Overnight, they lost their family's whole wealth, stuff that they had inherited for generations. Sad story, man. I think that's what's going to happen with Bitcoin too. I think we have a lot of people who are playing with money they can't lose in Bitcoin, and they're seeing an opportunity to ditch their paper dollars for Bitcoin. You think the United States of America is just going to be cool with Michael Saylor owning 3 times more Bitcoin than them? And you think what? They're going to negate this by buying more Bitcoin than Saylor and giving Saylor a golden opportunity to sell? I don't think so, man. I think that Saylor is going to get this pulled from underneath him so fast. Michael Saylor's going to get the chair pulled out from under him, man. Let alone the rug. Bam, fall on his ass. And I'm not rooting on that. I'm just saying what I think is going to happen. I think Bitcoin's going to be done. Bitcoin dominance is falling. Anybody who isn't aggressively playing altcoins to position themselves for great gains is setting themselves up for failure, man. Why wouldn't you own some XRP, some Algo, some FLR, some HBar? Why not? Why not take a stab at Songbird? There's nothing wrong with taking a stab, man. I would rather own XRP and FLR than Bitcoin. I mean that. So Adeline responds to somebody talking shit about MicroStrategy, and she says, our strategy is based on our confidence in the long-term value of Bitcoin. We may face price fluctuations in the short term. I'm worried people are going to get hurt, man. That's kind of what I'm getting at. I'm worried that people are going to get hurt. I'm worried that if you've remortgaged your house, you've taken a second mortgage on your house and you put it in Bitcoin, you're going to get hurt. Why? Because you're listening to Sailor? Who the fuck is Sailor to you? Bitcoin 103. So where did Sailor get that OTC buy, man? That's what I want to know. It said 1 hour ago that Sailor got an OTC it must have been over the counter. You think Coinbase is going to sell it to him at a discount? Usually how this works is right now, if we're getting a reporting of 103.79, Coinbase will sell it to you for like 104.5. And if you go to sell your Bitcoin, they'll buy it from you for like 103 flat, if not even 102.5. There's going to be a spread, man. This is how anything works. So who's selling Michael Saylor this Bitcoin for less than the spread? Unless they're just offloading it because somebody knows they want to get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Sell it. Sell it. Sell it. And Sailor's there like, I'll buy it. I'll do it. But once again, I don't know what these voices are, man. I don't know what I'm doing. It's Monday morning, man. I'm hyped up. If you're not hyped up now, you might never be. Dude, do you own any crypto? Do you feel alive? Are you having fun yet? You've made it this fucking far, man. We've been waiting in line for the roller coaster, and there have been maintenance delays, and there's been all sorts of shit. There's been bad weather. There's been people farting in line. Come on, man. We've made it this far. I'm getting on the fucking ride, and I'm going for the ride of a lifetime. All right? I'm going to sell some at the top, man. Or at least as close as I can hold on to the top as possible. Nobody calls the top perfectly. Nobody calls the bottom perfectly. I think XRP is going to reach out anywhere from 7 to 13 bucks, man. And I have a plan to take some profits at 7 and at 13, okay? And I'm going to take profit for cash. I'm going to pay off some debt. Dude, if I don't pay off my debts this bull run, I'm going to be fucking pissed at myself, okay? So that's my plan right there. I don't want to be in debt anymore. Consumer debt, no more. Web3 review is going to be free. Because then you're truly free, all right? Then you're truly free. I know it sounds great to have millions in crypto, but if you have an equal amount of debt, if you never pay off your debt and your crypto goes back to nothing, then dude, you didn't do shit. You fucking round tripped. I don't want to round trip is the point I'm getting at here, all right? And I'm worried that if you're buying Bitcoin at the top, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're probably going to quit playing. I see these people all the time. They play the top, they sell the bottom, they're pissed and call it a scam and quit playing. See you in 4 years, bucko. Zach with Web3 Reviews. Stay positive. Keep buying crypto. Dollar cost average. Don't give up, man. It's the night before Christmas, and you don't think Santa's coming? Buddy, he's coming, man. He's going to be flying down that chimney. All right, y'all. Talk soon.